I'm currently standing outside the world's largest orange sphere in Montreal, Quebec. This is the Orange Julep, which has been at this location since the 1960s, serving a variety of fast food and their signature orange drink. But what does any of this have to do with Lego? Find out. Today, I am going to meet up with Addie Parsons, a Montreal-based Lego artist who goes by Brick-A-Block on Instagram. She recently got acclaim for building Montreal's iconic Orange Julep out of Lego.
My name is Addie Parsons. I have loved Lego for as long as I can remember. My Lego story, I guess I've kind of, Lego has always been a part of my life in some way or another. I remember going out and at Play Value in Ottawa buying my very first Lego set with the money I had saved up, which was the Lego City Docks with the big blue City Lines boat and the red crane. I was ecstatic to have that. Before that though, my grandparents actually have the Lego collection that my parents, well, my mom and her siblings played with when they were kids, primarily her little brother. Even being a little kid, like in the bath when I was 3 or 4, taking a bath at my grandparents' house and having this little red Lego boat with a little attachable weight, like a keel for the boat, and the boat would float around in the bubble bath with me. And it just kind of continued throughout my life. I went to fine arts school and I found a few ways of incorporating Lego into some of the projects I did then. And, you know, there's just always sort of been a bin of Lego within arm's reach of my life, I guess you could say. I think the thing I love the most about Lego is just like the creative freedom. I love how colorful it is. I love the like sensory feeling of putting it together and the sound of the snapping of it together. I love how you can make anything from, you know, an abstract shape and call it a ship to a super detailed and complex model of something. The possibilities are endless, and it's sort of, it's kind of a physical manifestation of expression. You can just do whatever you want with it. I started making Montreal landmarks just because I was so inspired by the architecture we have around us in this beautiful city. Montreal has done a really good job of preserving a lot of the old architecture, but also incorporating new architecture. You see examples of really beautiful old school residential buildings and office buildings, as well as contemporary structures like the Orange Julep. So there's lots of inspiration in Montreal for buildings for sure. I decided to make the Orange Julep primarily because maybe a bit of masochism, but I wanted the challenge. I had a few people suggest to me that I try to do the Orange Julep after I did Schwartz's, the deli. However, like just given the nature of it, I was a bit intimidated to try taking on the project. I knew it was going to be a bit difficult. But once I sort of got going with it and decided to try anyways, it became more of a determination thing. I just really wanted to see if I could do it. And it took a long time, but finally I figured out all of the small details that were kind of holding me up, and the Orange Julep was born. To come up with the design for the Orange Julep took a little while. I had to come back to it over time. The actual sort of dome part of the julep is based off of the Lego globe. For the keen eye out there, you might notice that not all of the plates, the exterior plates, are the same as the globe, because unfortunately, not all of the plates in the original set that are in blue are available in orange. So I had to change it around a little bit. I think it still looks good. And then this guy down here, how the dome would be incorporated into this sort of service area of the Orange Julep, and how the whole structure would be supported without the support that is included in the original, the globe, that took a long time to figure out. I'd say probably the entire julep, no physical building, took 6 months or so like coming back to it over the course of 6 months multiple times to fully flesh out before I was happy with it. I like these guys, are my favorite. I just think they are like so fun, and they make me really happy, and they're actually kind of an iconic part of the real orange julep. They're all sort of spraying around everywhere in the wind, so it's kind of fun. I have to say, like, these little traffic cones, which are inspired by the Instagram account Ponto. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but he's a cute little plushy orange cone who travels around Montreal and documents his journey in different parts of the city. So this is kind of like a little tribute to Ponto and life in Montreal. I mean, how can it be authentic without an orange cone? As it is now, I'm primarily focusing on commissions. In the future, I'm hoping to do an exhibition of Montreal-based landmarks and sort of culturally important buildings. And that collection of structures will be fully chosen by myself. I think Orange Julep will probably be included in that. And I have a couple other ideas of structures I'd like to include. That's sort of a longer term project which I'm working towards, and hopefully doing the commission work will allow me to do a project like that, because Lego is not cheap, and to create an exhibition like that it's a relatively large endeavor. So hopefully we'll see some fun Lego exhibitions in the future. If you want to do something like this, you need to find a good supplier, someone who you can rely on, and someone who you can trust, because having to sort out, 10,000 Lego bricks to make sure that all 10,000 are actually there is a lot of work. A supplier that you can build up a relationship with is a very, very important thing. As well, too, like, you should have fun with it, I mean, I didn't start doing this with the intent of making money or anything like that. And I think that's probably why people have gravitated towards it. I think people recognize that it's kind of art in its own right.
That was Addie Parsons and her Orange Julep Lego creation. You can find more from her by following Brick-A-Block on Instagram. You can also head over to TrueNorthBricks.com for more from this interview, as well as some photos. Thanks for watching.